Hi, I'm Justin.
Also, I hate the way my voice sounds, so if you can do whatever Photoshop does to voices, make me sound awesome.
And this is my lovely friend,
The beauty in the eyes of the beholder, and it's just about getting into the seat of being the beholder.
Hayley.
I don't think you have to be particularly perceptive. I just think you have to look up.
This podcast is mostly just her telling me stories.
If you expose yourself to the possibility that this might be really awkward, there can be something just really cool on the other side of it.
She thinks that her life and way of looking at things are
Oh, I was kind of waiting on you. I thought you were getting your stuff ready. You're waiting on me?
pretty normal.
You got to edit out all the misinformation about the Amish.
Maybe you can relate
I would like a chance to re-sing the Amish Paradise.
if you want lighthearted stories
All right, you want to talk about goats?
and stream of consciousness.
I just woke up and needed some friends, and so I bought them.
Then you're gonna like the Sunny Side Up podcast.
Sunny side up, sunny side up, sunny side up, sunny side up.
So, if you're at all like me, you may feel that you're living in a world that can be a bit overwhelming and confusing at times. I'm also a huge fan of podcasts, documentaries, docudramas, stories, and of just information in general. Between all of that and the social media and news, sometimes our brains can feel like they're on overload. Hayley and I hope that this podcast can be something of an antidote to all of that. Like little jello shots of joy and distraction. None of it is too serious or really too informative. Mostly it's just two friends who have conversational chemistry talking about whatever enters the minds of relatively ADHD people. We hope you enjoy.
They're posting videos from that, it's kind of like a refugee center that I went to last summer
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the place that
on the border.
Yes. Oh, that was yeah.
It was kind of cool. Like last year when we went, I knew somebody who had been before, and they said, "Oh, you'd enjoy it." And had a weekend off, so I said, "Who's going anytime soon?" And they said, "Well, there's these people you've never met. They're going this weekend." I was like, "Excellent. Give me their phone number." So I just hopped in the car and went. And they said there will be somewhere between 30 and 100 people of just poor, generally just poor, or somebody who's been pushed back across the border, deported or whatever. That's what you're going to encounter. I'm like, I Googled this place to see where we're going, and everything I'm seeing connects to the migration crisis in Central America. I think we're going to, there's going to be a lot of refugees.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this isn't a refugee center. This is just a shelter. We pull up, and instead of their usual 30 people, there were 300 migrants in tents.
And where is this place?
This place is called Senda de Vida, and it was set up as a church/mission.
Yeah.
To give a place for people who had been
In Alabama?
Oh, Texas-Mexico border.
There we go.
So sorry.
Just waiting.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it is usually just at the time that it was built, a lot of Mexican deportees that were pushed right back across the border. But when we showed up, it was full of people from all of the Central American countries.
Yeah.
They posted a video this morning, and it's mostly Haitians at the moment. They're lined up around the door, and there's over 1,000 in there at the moment.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and feeling a little compelled to
Maybe make another trip.
Yeah, or collect resources, because what I figured out when I was down there is that I'm not very useful on the ground because I don't speak any foreign languages, and I don't have any particularly useful skills, like no fungible goods coming from these hands. And they've got all the skills that they need. Everybody who shows up is a better cook than I am. The men know how to build. They are building and expanding the shelter themselves. The men who come to stay there are helping to weld the gates and build the walls to give a safe place to get away from the cartel, who's actively trafficking them straight out of the city square.
Wow.
So they're trying to give a safe place while they're waiting for their paperwork and stuff to be processed into the U.S.
Gosh.
But do you shop on Craigslist some?
Pretty rarely now. Back in the day, it's become more Facebook Marketplace. There's definitely, I got 2 jobs in my life off of Craigslist back in the day.
Sweet.
Yeah, I feel like once Facebook Marketplace came along, it sort of replaced it for me.
I think for most people.
I'm not even,
But when we went to the shelter last year and we came back, I'm like, there's so many kids. And at that time, it was just a few hundred, but there were tons of kids. And the older kids, I think are maybe being sent across the border by themselves. So we're not seeing older ones. It was mostly younger. I was like, man, if I'm stuck in a place, I want books to read.
Yeah.
That's the escape. Whenever I was the new kid in town, I could walk to the library. That was my friend in a new town. My mother talks about when she was younger and moved to a new city, that in the middle of a summer she could walk to the library, and that's how she got by. So I thought we'll collect these books and at least send that when we send shoes and food and everything else. We'll set up a little library. So I was looking for some sort of cabinet that would work outdoors that was kind of waterproof, like a filing cabinet. And I found one online in, I don't know, it was an hour and a half from my house. So I drove, and the lady showed up to get it. It was giant. I needed, it was the right size. So whenever I showed up, she's like, meet me at these storage buildings. And I didn't know if it was a man or a woman that I was talking to. I was just walking straight into my doom. Craigslist, right?
And you're already at the storage unit where if you're going to store a body, disclaimer, I've never done this. But right.
I have it on good authority.
Have it on good authority. If
you don't have access to a chicken pit or a reservoir or a landfill, then a storage unit is a good place.
Just pay your bill for a while and you're good. Yeah.
Well, we show up and a woman pulls in and she opens it. She shows me the cabinet's perfect, and I explain what my interest is, just kind of casually. Lo and behold, if this woman was not a missionary who had spent years in Honduras, who had a passion for literacy in those communities that are underserved and have no infrastructure or education, so she had tons of information and resources, and gave me the cabinet for free. Wished me well, like kind of cool.
That's dope.
Yeah. So that was the day that I didn't get murdered on a Craigslist run. Like, I
mean, every day that you don't get murdered on a Craigslist run
is chalk it up to the success. Why have we gotten away from Craigslist? Because look how great the experience is. Facebook Marketplace may not be any safer.
No, you know what's funny? To your point, it's been over a year, but I remember reading in the news that somebody in Atlanta got killed on a Facebook Marketplace run.
What?
Yeah, and I don't know the details of it, but you know,
it happens.
But it happened.
Stay on alert.
So it's not like, to your point, it feels more sanitized and safe potentially because we're on Facebook all the time. We're not really on Craigslist as much anymore, so it just feels like, oh, this is a much safer or whatever. But people
not,
are
not well. So
I'm not
much.
saying who knows? I don't statistically.
But those are the dangers that we've run into trying to build a little barnyard in the backyard. We needed peacocks, obviously, because what backyard is complete without a couple? And you just you don't find those every day, fortunately, because they are so loud. I don't know if you have the pleasure of being awakened by the screams of a tortured woman, but if you want that experience,
well, I mean, that's how Ollie wakes me up every day as I hear her screaming like, why did I make this decision? Oh my God. I'm like, babe, calm down. It's just 51st date.
If it's nonverbal and you can tell it's coming from the depths of her soul, it is not her. It is a peacock.
Oh, okay.
Or a peahen.
Yeah.
So we wanted...
a peahen is a female peacock.
Yes.
Or a peacock is a male peahen.
But peafowl collectively. So you have peafowl and you have...
By the way, what a great peafowl. Just makes me think of like smelly urine.
Sure.
I mean, they definitely need a better
They
PR
probably
agent.
didn't choose the name.
No, that's right.
But you look on Craigslist and you're not supposed to sell pets, I don't think. On most of these sites try not to, and Facebook Marketplace is the same way. They don't want you selling. So you have to add these groups, like interest groups. You would follow the backyard chickens of Mississippi.
I wonder why they don't want you to sell. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. I guess it's selling animals in general can get a little exploitative, I guess.
Possibly. And maybe it's a liability thing. I'm not sure exactly why it's prohibited, but a lot of those online buying, selling resources don't want to deal with the animal stuff. So you have to, but the interest groups you can find and follow, and people will post it in such a way that it doesn't trigger any of the algorithms. And you can, that's how you source your chickens and your turkeys, and you find all your stuff.
And your peafowl.
Mm-hmm. So I found a lady who had some for sale, and we took a drive to try to find the camel dairy that I've told you about before, and it was in Pelahatchie, Mississippi, and for whatever reason, when we went looking for it, it was not in operation. Maybe it just wasn't open to the public. Surely the camels are still there, providing their milk and their ice cream to the public.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
But on the way back...
I feel like that's one of the things in life that, before I complete my journey here on this planet, I want some camel milk and some camel ice cream.
That's what I was going for.
Right?
Yes, and
Denied.
Sadly, the Camel Dairy did not market itself as a dromedary.
Oh my God.
I know.
What an opportunity missed.
Still sad about it.
Yeah.
Perhaps they have a suggestion box when they reopen. We can have them. But it wasn't open that day.
I feel like if you're a dromedary farm, you need to offer a discount on hump day. So Wednesday, right?
That's perfect.
Right.
The Bactrians down the street are like, we will charge full price every day. No discount. 2 hump camels right over here.
Right.
Unless you're Sally the camel.
Who's Sally the camel?
A horse. Sally the camel has no humps because Sally is a horse. No?
No.
Oh my gosh, there are so many things missing from your cult childhood.
I know. Do you see the giant tears slowly sliding down my face as you talk about Epcot Center or
Sally the camel songs not being sung in your childhood?
She had no lovely lady lumps.
Well, at least not on her back. She may have had them elsewhere.
Yeah.
But we're leaving the lack of camel dairy that was not open that day, and we're driving, and there was a place that someone had advertised that they had pea fowl for sale.
Yes.
So we're on the back roads of South Mississippi, driving through the woods.
If I sell my buckets of my urine as pea fowl, do you think
angry shoppers that might report you to the online
that's probably
marketplace?
That's probably fair. Okay, I just had a moment. I was like, I've just been flushing it away. Could there be money in this? I mean, if people are interested in pea fowl, but that's probably a very different audience.
If it's drug free, there's a market for it. You could be selling it.
And mine is drug free because I've honestly just been too chicken to do drugs ever in my life, and
cult.
And because the cult, Brother Mead said that the doctor was bad, so I don't go to the doctor and I don't get drugs, the legal ones either. So mine's some pretty clean pee.
There is a market for that.
Gosh. All right. Don't reach out directly if you need clean pea fowl, but just
pee, period.
Yeah. Hello, lovely friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And it would mean the world if you would tell other people about this podcast and maybe even spam your social media accounts with just how much you're enjoying it. If you are, of course. Also, commenting and rating us on whatever platform you're downloading or streaming from is incredibly helpful to a little startup podcast like this one. On the other hand, if you are dissatisfied with your listening experience, please leave all of that hate on someone else's podcast. Just maybe to confuse them a little bit, right? But most of all, we hope you keep looking up and looking for the sunny side of life.